Did you know that in opera, composers often compose men's roles to be sung by women? These are called pants roles, and they're usually sung by a mezzo-soprano. Savannah is studying several pants roles right now. Why do composers write pants roles?
I think composers write pants roles because a lot of the qualities of a mezzo-soprano's voice, or perhaps how they would behave on stage, are appropriate for a young 13, 16, 17-year-old boy in the kind of situations that you'll find a pants role character in.
And a 16 or 17-year-old boy wouldn't be able to sing well enough to do an opera.
Right, so you need a professional, classically trained mezzo-soprano to sing about love like a little boy.
Exactly. What are some of the challenges of portraying men on stage?
I found that sometimes it's challenging to stay in the physical demeanor of a boy or a young man. It's very different than how we stand when we're singing in gowns and dresses, but singing in a pants role, you move differently, you think differently, and it influences all your acting and everything.
Do you enjoy being a boy?
I definitely do, because you get to wear pants on stage, and you don't have to wear heels sometimes, and you have much more fun running around. You get to be something totally different.
We're going to hear Savannah sing some excerpts from a couple of pants roles and see if we can help her be an even better man than she already is. Great. Savannah, tell us a little bit about the character who sings this aria.
Well, Cherubino is a young 13-year-old boy, and this aria is kind of a spontaneous song that he sings in the midst of the opera about how he's just discovered women and how they make his heart beat faster, and he changes color and he sweats and he has no idea what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, boys do things differently than girls. I see that you're fidgeting a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. You could see how she was sort of swaying back and forth a little bit. This sort of, confusion and fidgetiness is kind of feminine to sway back and forth. How a 13-year-old boy would do that would be to kind of like pace around a little bit. Now, you generally have like the wide stance that we associate with masculinity. Mm-hmm. But see if when you shift your weight, you can do a little bit more with that. Let me see you just fidget around a little bit. Okay, so what if I restricted your movement so you could only... Good. Now try to keep your arms stiff, right? Mm-hmm. Because masculine movements tend to not be very bendy. If I tilt my head to one side, that's going to be a little bit too feminine. Mm-hmm. If I do this with my arms, it's going to be a little bit too feminine. But if I'm trying to contain my energy as a man, there's going to be a little bit more angularity and a little bit more stiffness to my limbs. So fidget a little more for us.
It's hard.
Yeah. It takes a lot of practice. Uh-huh. That makes a big difference already, though. Another thing about men is that they take up a lot of space. So if Savannah can use her arms more and take up more space while she's singing this, then that's going to make her look a little bit more masculine, too. Let me see you just go, ogni donna.
Ogni donna mi fa palpitar.
Good. Maybe a little bit less of that. And again, make sure that you have very angular movements. If there's too much wrist bending, too much elbow bending, that's going to feminize you a little bit. So, ogni donna mi fa palpitar. Maybe just forceful, simple movements.
Ogni donna mi fa palpitar.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, let's sing this section again and see if you can be even more of a boy.
Sure.
Non so più cosa son, cosa faccio, rifugo son, non mi piaccio. Ogni donna cambiare i colori, ogni donna mi fa palpitar, ogni donna mi fa palpitar, ogni donna mi fa palpitar.
Savannah's next piece is a different kind of character. What can you tell us about Stefano?
Well, Stefano is one of Romeo's best friends. He is older than Cherubino, and in this piece he's being kind of sarcastic, and the subject matter seems flighty, but it has a lot to do with the coming drama in the opera.
So you're going to have more swagger than fidgetiness.
Totally, definitely.
All right.
More presence.
Let's see what you're doing with this.
Okay.
Quelques jours dépliant ta
Savannah, I like a lot of what you're doing, both musically and physically with this. I just want you to do a little bit more of everything. Trust your instincts more. Now you've got this nice wide angular stance, and I think you could exaggerate that more. So maybe this foot a little bit further forward, and really keep the weight back. Keep the weight in your back leg. So you can still sort of walk around, but sort of keep the weight back. And one of the things that's going to do is it's going to make it feel more like you're leading from your pelvis, which guys do, so that when you want to do a gesture, like I saw you doing some things with sort of your head or maybe your shoulders, you're going to be more inclined to have it be more of an entire torso thing, which will make it more masculine. The gestures that you're doing with your arms are very good. Just make them bigger. If you're going to point, really point. You know, be very deliberate with it. Don't be afraid to take up more space. Now these ornaments that you have in the second section of this excerpt that you sang, you told us that Stefano is being very sarcastic. So see if you can make those little triplety things, kind of like a laughing, sarcastic move. And when you have that slide up to the staccato, have it just be like you're tossing it off.
Got it. Cool.
Right? Make those gestures more masculine. They're not just, I mean, they're difficult coloratura. She's worked very hard to be able to sing them as well as she does. But now they have to express your masculine character.
Yeah.
Most of the mezzo-sopranos I know really enjoy performing pants roles, but you can see that there are some particular challenges and some new skills that you're going to have to learn if you want to get good at this. What are some of your favorite pants roles? Share your YouTube videos and tell us what you like about these girls who play boys.